Good morning, Kingdom Advancers. Welcome to Advanced Kingdom TV. It's another week, and we're excited about it. Listen, good morning, everyone. I hope you came expecting, because there's some great things that are happening in this community, and you are a part of it. You will testify. You're multi-millionaires. God sent you here for a reason. We're excited about what God is doing. You got to understand, if it's not you, then who? If it's not now, then when? Now is the time for you to advance kingdom. That's what we come here to do. And so we're excited about it. Good morning, everyone on the broadcast. Tell a friend. Tell them something great is happening in the community. 6 a.m. Central Time. Tell them something great is happening. There's a movement happening. You're all a part of it. Yeah, good morning, Marika. Good to see you. Kamika's on the line. Corey Davis is here. Dr. Ann, we see you. Good morning, everyone. Joy, good morning. Paula, good to see you. Yeah. Michael, good to see you, Michael. Michelle's on the line. Kiari, y'all are showing up this morning. Oh, we love to see it. We even have Unleashed Prayer Call on the line. Good morning, Dr. Tora. Good morning, Nedra. Good morning, Tanya, my wife. Yeah, Dr. Denise is in the back room. Good morning. Mia, good to see you. Oh, we're excited. Yeah. It's our time. It's that time. Yeah. Tell everyone that you know something great is happening in these morning calls. God is showing up. God is meeting us here, and we are the people that turn our hearts and our minds, not for show, not for public display, but because we are the ones that love our God, and He loves His people. And so whenever you have a people that love God and God loving His people, expect great things to happen, expect great things to occur, expect goals to be met. Matter of fact, let's not even say that. Expect goals to be exceeded. Because we serve a God that's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all. Yeah. It's something to be excited about. This morning, as we always do, we have to turn our hearts and minds towards Jesus. We do that through our devotion and prayer. We dedicate this time to Him. And yeah, that's right, Kiari. Multi-billionaires. We dedicate our time to Him, and we do that through that devotion and prayer. I'm going to bring up to the stage my friend, my brother, Terrence. How's it going this morning?
Man, it is going good. Good. Awesome. I love Mondays.
Yeah. We look forward to Mondays.
New beginning, new week.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we're going to turn the platform over to you.
All right, let's go. Right. Good morning, everybody. Advancers, how y'all doing this morning? Talk to me in the chat. How y'all doing? Y'all ready? Y'all excited? I know I am. I'm so ready for this week. I get to Fridays, and I'm happy that it's Friday. I'm happy it's the weekend. But it's something about Mondays for me. It's just so much promise for the new week. There's so much excitement that I have for what's next, and who knows what's next? Who knows what's next, and what this week has for us? I know what's next, and we're going to talk about what's next this morning. And so I'm not going to be before you long. Y'all know I say that all the time. I am not going to be before you long. Preachers say that all the time. I'm not a preacher, so I actually mean it, and I will bring that to pass. So I won't be before you very long, but I got a little something I want to talk about this morning. On Friday, God just started speaking to me on this, and I said, well, okay, if you're talking to me about it, I got to release it to the people. So let's turn to Mark chapter 8. We're going to start with 24th verse. Familiar passage to a lot of us, but we're going to talk a little bit about this. Actually, we'll start at the 23rd verse. And it says, "And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw." Now, we saw there was a viral clip that went around last year where there was a preacher who demonstrated this. He spit on his hands and put it on a man's eyes as a demonstration. Can you imagine that? You had a blind man, couldn't see. Someone actually put spit on your eyes. How would you feel about that? Well, for me, if it's the Savior, if it's Jesus, I'm okay with that. But in the scripture, you see that Jesus did that, and he looked up and said, "I see men as trees walking." That's the verse that we're gonna stick on. He says, and he looked up and said, "I see men as trees walking." And after that, he put his hand again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. Now, in that scripture, the first time he began to see men as trees. And I believe that God gave him a glimpse into the spirit. He wasn't just, confused with what he was seeing, but he was seeing in the spirit realm. He was seeing how God sees men. He was seeing in a whole nother level. And so it says he saw men as trees walking. Now, in that scripture, that trees just stuck out. Like, why men as trees? What correlation does that have? And to look and see, all right, what is a definition of a tree? So a tree it's a plant. It's considered a woody plant with one erect stem and a crown of foliage. It can grow to extreme heights. You see oak trees that can be very, very large. There's so many types of trees. You see palm trees, you see fruit trees, and even within fruit trees, you see of fruit trees. There's all kinds of fruit trees. But with fruit trees specifically, the name itself tells you something. A fruit tree does exactly what its name says. It produces fruit. And so this morning, I want to ask you, what kind of fruit tree are you? What kind of fruit are you producing? What kind of fruit will you produce in this season? Now, digging a little bit more, I had to go nerdy on you a little bit. And so I started looking at fruit trees and the process for fruit trees. And one thing that farmers do, they prune fruit trees. Now, pruning, that's a process in itself. And so the word prune, it means to trim by cutting away dead or overgrown branches or stems, especially to increase fruitfulness and growth. I'm going to read that again. To prune, it means to trim by cutting away dead or overgrown branches or stems, especially to increase fruitfulness and growth. Fruitfulness and growth. So that process of trimming, it's not always a pretty thing. It's not always a pretty thing at all. Cutting away. And I believe that there is a process of pruning that is going on even now in our group. Even now in our personal lives, there's a pruning that God is doing within us. We're cutting away dead things. He's cutting away unnecessary things. But when we dig a little bit more into like some tips of pruning, So this is what got me a little bit when I was researching. One tip says when pruning, always prune as to make small wounds rather than large wounds. Always prune so as to make small wounds rather than large wounds. And some of us have been in a pruning season where we've been wounded. There's been small wounds. There's been cuts. There's been bruises and things that we've been going that don't feel good. They don't feel good at all. They hurt. There's been hurts over the years. And even since you've connected with Advanced Kingdom, there's been a pruning going on where you've been going through some things. But let me tell you this. The promise is in the process. The promise is in the process. God has spoken some things over your life. He's spoken some things over Advanced Kingdom that have to come to pass. But there's a process to that. And pruning is a part of that process. And so I began to dig deeper on how do you prune a tree? And there's really three main things to pruning your tree. The first one is called the cleanup. So that first step is removing dead, dying, or diseased branches. And I believe in that first step that's what God has been doing for us. Removing the unnecessary things. Removing the unnecessary things that we've been connected to. Branches in our lives that don't serve purpose, that don't they're not fulfilling anything in our lives. They're just there for no reason. That the second part of pruning is called thinning out. Now, this thinning out process can be very, very difficult. That second step says it is thinning out the extra branches and shaping the tree. We have been in a process where God has been thinning out even people around us. And so it feels like we're losing friends, and it feels like we're losing people that have always been with us. That friend that you've had for 15, 20 years that hasn't been serving a purpose other than to drain and to leech from you. He's thinning out now. And so when you begin to see that thinning out and that friend group begin to get smaller and smaller, it's for a purpose. It's for a purpose. It's to get rid of any of the unnecessary friends and baggage that you may have in your life. Like there's a saying that you have to get light to go up. You have to get light, and sometimes that means getting rid of people that are connected to you that aren't serving a purpose for the kingdom at all. All they're doing is draining. You know, you've been in those conversations where you get on the phone with a friend for an hour and you get off that phone call and you feel so drained. You feel like everything advice-wise that you may have given them was just for nothing. It's going to go in one ear and out the other. It serves no purpose. It's time to allow God to thin out even your friend groups. The last step in pruning, they call the head back. That's the last stage in taking a step back and finding and then removing the large branches that aren't needed. And so it is a process to prune. It is a process that does not necessarily feel good. But the biggest thing is pruning promotes fruit. So pruning trees helps promote fruit growth in a few different manners. There's a couple ways that it does that. The most important way that pruning promotes fruit growth is that it causes the buds which are currently dormant to become active. I'm going to read that again. It causes the buds which are currently dormant inside to become active. And so when you allow God to take you through that process of pruning, and that pruning can be different for everyone. You know, sometimes he's pruning away and stripping away pride. He's stripping away, false humility. He's stripping away things that are not like him. That pruning process is different for everyone. But when we allow God to take us through that process, what it does is causes those buds, those things that he's placed on the inside of you, those things that have been lying dormant, the gifts, the talents, the spiritual gifts that he's placed inside of the dreams and the visions that he's placed inside of you that are in bud form and sitting dormant. It causes them to become active and bloom during the next season. It causes them to become active and bloom during the next season. Like that right there alone can preach. That right there, I'm telling you, that right there alone can preach, because I know there's people out there, and I'm talking to you, yes, you that have been sitting on dreams and that have been sitting on gifts that God has placed in you, and you don't necessarily know what to do with them. They're just sitting there. But in this season, they will produce. In this next season, they will produce. They'll go from seed form, from bud form, to active, full-blown gifts and full-blown dreams and visions. Oh man, that right there messed me up. But also the pruning of fruit trees, it helps the tree receive sunlight on all of its branches. Now, the correlation with sunlight and the sun, we can preach right there. But when you cut away and allow God to cut away those things that are not like him and those things that don't serve a purpose, all it does is increase the sunlight. All it does is increase the Spirit of God in you. And so he with that pruning season, he goes in and he removes things that are in your soul, those things, those secret things that are in your soul that you don't tell anybody about, that are just there and you've been dealing with them on your own. But in that pruning season, God will go in and remove those things that have been for you. He'll remove those things that have been issues for you for decades, issues for you for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But in that season alone, God can go in and remove those things. He can go in and don't fight the process. He can go in and remove those things. And when he does, all it does is increase the sunlight that is able to get into this tree. And so what that means to me is there's a stronger connection between you and the Father. There's no unnecessary things that are blocking that connection right there when you allow him to take you through that process. But it allows the tree to receive sunlight on all of its branches, not just the tops and the sides. Further pruning allows better air for the tree and its fruit. This revelation, this word right here, like I said, it came to me first. It came to me. And so what it told me is that there's more pruning that needs to happen even within me. There's more pruning that needs to happen. There's more of a process that needs to happen. We look in scripture, we see how God uses men and women, but he takes them through a process. I think about even Joseph, how he went through a extended process, but it was for a purpose. His process took him from the pit all the way to the palace. Even in scripture, when we look at the children of Israel coming out of Egypt, there was a process, and the process wasn't supposed to take as long as it did. But the children of Israel began to murmur, they began to complain. And those are things that can extend the process. Those are things that can lengthen your process, and you won't get to the promise as quick as you're supposed to if you fight that process. If you fight the pruning, it's only going to delay your production. But the thing I love about God is he is infinite in all of his ways. even when a tree has not produced, let's just say you're an apple tree. Even if you haven't produced any apples, it still doesn't change your identity. You're still an apple tree. If you're and have not produced any peaches, you're still a peach tree because it's in your DNA. That is the label that God has put on you. That is what he's created you to do. And so it doesn't you are if you haven't produced yet. And so there are some people out there who are confessing and they're saying that I'm a traitor. And just because you haven't produced yet doesn't mean you're not a traitor. There's some people out there that are saying that I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a successful entrepreneur. Just because you haven't produced yet does not mean that's not who you are. That's not what you are. When God speaks a thing and he puts a label on a thing and on a person, that's who you are. And it's because it's in your DNA. Now, the DNA is a very interesting thing. It comes from a host. It comes from a parent. And we know who our father is. We know our father sits in heaven. and what's in his DNA is in our DNA. And he's the ultimate producer. So that's what's in us. That's what's going to come out of us if we allow him to take us through that process. Is anyone out there going to embrace that process? I dare you to say, I embrace the process. I dare you to say that this pruning doesn't feel good, but I embrace it. I dare you to speak that I will go through the process with gladness and with joy. I dare you to speak that even now, that the process, in the process, there's a promise. At the end of this process, the promise will come to pass. I dare you to speak that and put that into the atmosphere even now, even in the chat, put that in the atmosphere, that the promise is at the end of this process. Put that in the atmosphere even now. And I want to take this moment to decree and to declare that over your life even now. Even now, that the promise is in the process. This is a season of producing fruit that will sustain not only you, but it will sustain your family and those that are connected to you from generation to generation to generation. Not only that, if we trust the process, that it's a spiritual process and it's a natural process. And even, like I said, even if you haven't produced yet, you will produce. You will produce at the end of this process. When you've allowed God to take you through that, you will produce. And so I'm going to take a moment to pray over you now, and not just you, I'm praying over myself, that production is our portion. Now, in the name of Jesus, I speak right now and I declare that this process has a purpose. That at the end of this process and on the other side, our purpose will be fulfilled. Every destiny, everything that you've placed in us, oh God, everything that you've placed in us, we believe that it will come to pass at the end of this process. We believe that every word that you've spoken will not fall to the ground. It has to come to pass in the name of Jesus. Father, we embrace the process even now, oh God. We come before you with broken spirits and contrite hearts, oh God. We come before you broken, oh God, humble before you as servants of God. We come before you as willing and open vessels, Father. We pray that you use us, oh God, in every way that you see fit, Father. Use us, oh God. Produce in us that we may produce through us, oh God. Produce in us, oh God, that we may produce whatever that you've placed in us, oh God. Every dream, every vision, every dormant thing that has been lying there, every dormant gift, oh God, that has been lying there. We speak activation to it now in the name of Jesus. Activation now in the name of Jesus. Gifts, talents, oh God, perfect them, oh God. Perfect them in us, oh God. Prune them in us, oh God. Every gift, every talent, oh God, we give it over to you, oh God. We don't produce fruit just to produce fruit, but we are kingdom advancers, oh God. We are here to advance kingdom, and every bit of fruit that we produce, oh God, we'll give it over to you, oh God. It's not for us to just hoard, oh God, God, is not just for us to have and say that we've produced, Father, but it is with a purpose. It is with a purpose, oh God. And I pray right now that we don't lose sight of that purpose. And our purpose is to reach souls. It is to advance the kingdom of God in every avenue that you've given us, not just in trading, but in real estate and in other industries. We will produce that in the mighty name of Jesus. One thing, and this is the last thing I'll say, is with a fruit tree, there are many branches. There's many branches on a tree. And we are not just going to produce on one branch of this tree, but there is going to be multiple branches that we're producing from. And that just equates to multiple streams of income. That equates to multiple things that God wants us to do. We will produce in every area. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen, amen, and amen. It's time to produce, y'all.
It's Terrace, excellent word this morning. We must produce. We are produced. I feel it. I feel the authority in that command.
Yes.
That you're not asking to be produced. You are going to produce. There was an authority in that command. And it's a sign of what is happening, is that we're pulling out what is there. We're pulling out what is there. You are this, and this is what you are going to produce. That is good. There's so much. You're right. There's so much that you can take in directions that you can go with being a tree. And it's that piece of just knowing that, just using that as an analogy, when the man that was blind was unable to see what he was. And he said, I see man as trees.
Yes.
And it wasn't in the spirit realm. That's what we are, is that we are, when God began to create things, he created a seed that seed producing fruit that we would reproduce after our own kind.
Yes.
And that's what's happening, is that after you come out of the dirt, after you've gone through and weathered the storm and different things, you are to produce after your own kind. Yes. And so this is what jumped out to me. I got to tell you, this is what jumped out to me. You said that just because you haven't produced yet doesn't change the nature of your tree. That a good what do they call it? A good husbandman. That's what it's called. A good husbandman. Yeah. A shepherd of the garden. A good husbandman knows to look at a tree and know where it needs to be cut at. Yes. To make it produce.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's some cutting that has to happen in order for our fruit to grow.
Yes.
And so I like that. Another piece that really stuck out to me is this piece about getting light. Mm-hmm. That everything that may have been there at the beginning of the process cannot remain.
Yes.
And there was a testimony I shared a while back ago with others about my prayer life, how my prayer life shifted. And it was always like I was hitting a ceiling in my prayer life. It was, I would ascend to a level and then instantly stop. But the Holy Spirit began to tell me and instruct me how to get light.
Yes.
How to let go of certain things of this world in order to ascend higher. And that's a spiritual principle of getting light. Letting go feels like you're not advancing, but letting go is a part of advancing.
Yes.
And so I appreciate that word. It's a on-time word. It's actually the season that we're in.
Yes.
Like we are just that. We are multimillionaires. We're kingdom advancers, And at times it may not feel that, but that is the tree that we're speaking to.
Yes. Yeah.
That's who you are. That is what you are.
And the incredible thing is, like, so us as a group, we've been in that pruning season. We've been doing this for a while. Before we came on camera, we've been doing this for a while, and we've been, going through the process. But there's some that have joined recently. And the amazing thing about God is he can accelerate the process for you.
Yeah.
We're already seeing divine acceleration. We've got people who've just recently joined. Brian, for one example, just recently joined, has only been trading for a few months, has already passed the challenge. And so the supernatural ability that God places on us is incredible. It's incredible. And so, you can look at someone else's process and you can say, oh, it took them this long to get to where they are. But we're not them and they're not us. So we have an unfair advantage. And I talk about that all the time. The unfair advantage that we have is the Father.
Yeah.
We have the ultimate creator. We have the ultimate groomer who knows exactly where to cut to produce.
There it is.
And it may not feel good. And a lot of times it won't feel good. I told you the tip that this one groomer said is you have to make small wounds. Small wounds, not large ones, but small ones. Those small ones hurt. Like they absolutely hurt, but they're not without a purpose.
Yeah, they're not without a purpose.
So if we see the things that we go through aren't just in vain, but they're with a purpose, it makes it so much easier to go through that process.
Yeah, because you know what it is. You know that this is a part of the process.
Yeah.
That I'm being cut here for a reason. I'm experiencing loss here for a reason. What is growing in you because of it? What is it birthing in you because of it? You're going to be, at the end of this process, you're going to be well equipped to handle these things, to handle all things. You're going to see $100 problems not be a problem anymore. Then you're going to transition into $1,000 problems. It's not going to be a problem anymore. 10,000 is not going to be a problem. 100,000 not going to be a problem. $1 million is not going to be a problem. Why? Not because the money is changing. It's because you are changing through the process.
That's good.
What you're able to handle, what you're able to manage, what you're able to steward is going to grow. The capacity for you to handle more is going to grow. God is not going to give you something that will crush you. He's going to wait till your branches are fully developed so that you can produce big size, God size fruit. It was when they walked into when Moses sent the spies into the land of promise. They were God-sized type fruits that they brought back. It wasn't something small, it was something big, and that's what the promise of God is. If he gave it to you right now, your branches may not be able to hold it.
Oh, that's good.
But he's developing you, he's strengthening you so that when it comes, it will remain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Preach that.
No, that's good. That's good right there.
Yeah, fruit that will remain. I'm sitting over here laughing at Dr. Lakeisha, her comment. They're not like us.
They not like us. In the Kendrick voice. They're not like us.
Prophet Kendrick spoke back.
For real. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I see some people in the green room. We got to bring these people up. They are looking chipper in the green room. Chipper. That's the new word. They looking chipper. Dr. Denise is in the building.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
Doing well.
Good.
How are you doing this fine Monday morning?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah.
Just plain old excellent. I'm there. I'm there. Yeah. Powerful work this morning.
Yeah.
Powerful
It
work.
was.
I'm so excited.
It's something to be excited about.
Yeah.
I think my cheeks are starting to hurt because I'm just grinning too much. I'm like super excited about what God is doing. I mean, it's like hard to contain. You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's something about just putting your trust in God. When you have a life just submitted and trusting in God, you be like, God, you got this. Like what you are doing is just, and that joy comes in. You let the peace of God come in, and you wake up excited, just expecting God to do more.
Yeah,
like, that is something. It is a what is it? It will weigh on your cheeks.
Yes.
Just trust in the Lord.
Yeah.
It will.
You know, the one thing that I think about, you know, when you were talking about the pruning and the small cuts, you know, it doesn't take like a huge laceration and, you know, you got to get stitches and all of that. But sometimes you can just nick yourself and that thing will heal up pretty quickly. But when we think about what God does in our life, it's not always, you know, we're saying yes, we're saying yes, but then when we understand what that yes means, we want to turn around and say, but can we wait a minute? You know, this is one of those seasons that your yes is going to cost you to really trust God. You know, it might be some things he's saying that you're like, do I really have to? Yes, you do really have to. You know, we're in a country where we have so much liberty when we compare it to other countries. And when we're told that we need to cut back something, nobody wants to do it because we're used to having everything the way we want it. But everything the way we want it is not always aligned with what God wants for us. Yes. And so those little things, you know, that we can allow him to prune off of our life and change our thinking. Because this thing right here is the problem.
My God.
This thing right here is the problem because he made us smart people. He made us in his image and his likeness. But what we haven't learned to do is to totally align this with his thinking. You know, Adam and Eve kind of messed us up a little bit, you know, and then we, you know, through generations and generations, we try to, you know, make things happen ourselves. But this is a season where he's saying, I'm going to make it happen for you, but you have to participate with me in a way that allows me to work through you and allow me to do everything I need to do in you and through you. And so it's a different season. It's a different season. We got to have a different mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm excited about it. Yes. Yes.
And we cannot overthink in this season.
No, you can't.
Oh boy.
We cannot overthink because that's our problem a lot of times. You said, Denise, that he made us very brilliant individuals.
Yes.
But sometimes our brilliance can be a hindrance to what he wants to do. And so overthinking is an issue. And if we know it's an issue, we got to put it under subjection.
Y'all both need to just reach over your screen and just lay your hands on me because that is one thing I'm getting delivered from. Overthinking.
Listen here. Okay, that might be all three of us sitting up here because overthinking, I'd be like, Jesus, really? I'm thinking, and he's like, no, you're gonna do this, and it's gonna be, and I'm like, Lord, but what people gonna think I'm crazy, and he's like, well, you either gonna listen to me or you gonna what you gonna do? So I'm like, you know, it's a different, all I can say is it's a different season. I'm not even going to linger there. I'm just going to say it's a different season. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. See, I'm the disciple that when Jesus was getting ready to feed the 3,000 and 5,000, I would have had 1,000 questions for him about this. I was like, listen, now we only got a couple loaves of bread. Now, when you see how many people is right here, And that's what it is. It's like God is saying, I'm going to take you from here to there, and here's the process of the mind. The mind will war against it.
Yeah.
The mind will war against what God has declared. He says, I'm going to take you from here to there. I was like, and the math doesn't math. God's math is another math that's not taught in school. Yes. I've never seen that type of math. How are you going to go from this dimension to this dimension? Yeah. It's not even close. And I don't have the history. I don't have the bloodline. I don't have anything to say. And so the mind is limited in what it can understand. And that's why Paul said, he says, no one can understand God but the Spirit of God.
Yes.
No one can understand it. Man's mind will wrestle with God all day and still not figure it out. That's where religion comes from. It's man's concept of what God is saying. It's our interpretation. Yeah. And it's limited to what God is able to do. That's why religion cannot enter into kingdom. Yeah. Because the kingdom is unlimited potential. Yes. It's dunamis power that the mind cannot understand. That's what we're walking in, is dunamis power. And sometimes you just got to let go and accept it. That's that pruning piece. You just got to let go and accept it.
Yeah. And that religious and traditional mindset makes the word of God of none effect.
Yeah.
And there is a difference between kingdom and religion. Completely. So one thing you said, Denise, you talked about the yes that we give God. In my research with pruning, it's recommended that pruning gets done once a year, at least once a year. And so we have to be willing to say yes periodically. It's not just a one-time thing. So that process will come, we will produce, but when he wants us to produce more, he's going to take us back through that process. Yeah. And then we got to give him a yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Just squeeze tight and say yes. Yes. Yeah. We got some more in the green room. Nedra's sitting in the green room. Let's bring her up.
All right, Nedra.
Good morning.
In the building.
I missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you
too.
Yeah.
That was good this morning, Terrence. I was just sitting there because, sometimes, how often you said pruning is supposed to take place?
They recommended at least once a year. So.
And sometimes, because we make our own decisions and we don't let God make the decision, we delay that pruning process. And you can literally go years without, having that done. And I know me personally, I've gone through that. And what happens is that when you finally let go and let God and allow that pruning process to take place, it can be extremely painful because the things that you've been holding on to that you should not have been holding on to, that God told you to let it go a long time ago, now it has to be done all at once.
Yeah.
And it will literally come hard and but going through that process is necessary. It's necessary.
Yeah.
And that's the only way for us to grow is to let God prune us. That was really good this morning.
Yeah, it's all. I like reading Paul of how he embraced the pruning process, and it was like his life. He wasn't groomed into the life. It was an abrupt halt. Like everything that you knew is over, and now you're starting completely over, and you're going to carry this heavy kingdom mandate. It was an abrupt halt, and so the way that he embraced it was, I'm forgetting everything. I am becoming new. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going with it. And this man is being bitten by snakes, thrown off of ships, thrown in jail, beaten, thrown off a cliff, and embracing it because he knew what he was carrying. That I will not be. I'm unstoppable. that I'm willing to go through anything to get the kingdom spread in every territory.
Yes.
And that's the kind of mindset that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But for those advancers, oh, if you're called to advance, oh yeah, it's for you. That's what kind of tree you are. Yeah.
And even with success, you know, in order for you to be successful, you have to become a new person. There's no other way. You know, if you continue to do the same things over and over again, what do they say? That's the definition of insanity. If you expect a different result, you literally have to become a different person. You know, you can't lay in bed no more. You need to get up and go for a walk in the morning. You know, you need to get up and do, you know, say your prayers every morning and be in touch. And you have to change your routine. You have to change who you are as a person in order to get different results. That's the only way.
That's true.
One thing that I can look back at that I think sometimes we miss is your last success can be your biggest obstacle to future success. Because you will reminisce over that. You'll meditate on it and how good it was. It was great. But you're not looking forward. You're looking at what God did then, but not looking at what he's doing now and what he wants to do moving forward. And I can say I've been stuck in that before because I had God do some stuff in my life that was like, really? You know, I couldn't even believe it. I didn't even have it in sight and he did it. I wasn't even thinking about it and he did it. And to think about those things and how he brought them to pass then can almost stifle your growth because you're so caught up and so grateful though on what happened and how he did it and worked this miracle in your life that we almost don't prepare ourselves for the next. And so you know, it's just a reminder to stay open, and it causes that pruning to come up because he's like, oh, you're not going to let go of that? Oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you let go of that so you can see where I need to take you moving forward. I'm going to help you by pruning some stuff off of you.
That's so good.
I'm done.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I had a mentor a long time ago. I think I told this story before, but the mentor told me I had a blow up. And so they were helping me through this blow up. And he said, Tim, you only should have one blow up in your lifetime. You don't want to get set back like this again. And it actually stifled my growth because I was afraid to lose and afraid to take loss. And I had to be delivered from that thought process that sometimes shakeups will happen in your life, not to hurt you, but to pull you out of a low dimension of living and into a new reality, a new dimension of living that is greater than what you knew before. Sometimes old levels have to blow up. Sometimes outdated, old, unrelevant levels that's not dealing with your future have to blow up. And we look at that as a negative, but don't you want a level to fail that you're not supposed to be on? When you're supposed to be higher. You may be dealing with some test or some trial. It may be a sign that you outlive that level, outlive that dimension, and it's time for you to go higher. And a lot of people settle in to places that have outgrown them. And it's that blow up. God will send a blow up. He'll send he'll do that pruning so that you can push you out of the nest. It's time for you to fly. It's time for you to soar. You can't live here forever.
Right. He has well, let's shake some things up this morning.
Let's go. He gotta make you uncomfortable sometimes. We get so comfortable at times, but when we get comfortable, we gotta understand that good is the enemy of great.
So true.
So if you're comfortable in the good, and you don't shake up what you're doing, you're just gonna stay at that level. You're gonna stay at that level forever. And some people are okay with that, but I'm not. We're called to produce more than just on a good level. We got championship mentality. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Good does not win championships.
Yes.
Yeah. And trading will definitely push you to the limit. Like it will definitely expand you as a person. Yeah.
It will. It'll make you reconsider and think about some things.
Oh yeah. I thought nursing school did it for me. Right?
No, it's a daily. You got to be on top of your game every day to be able to. I look at it. I use the analogy of the ocean. It was like any day, even if you survived the ocean yesterday, you still have to know how to swim and do all of your safety checks the next day.
Yeah.
Because it has the potential to drown you every day.
Every single day. Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What is good. Tim, the analogy king, man.
That's how I figure out things. And Jesus would have been speaking to me because he would have used parable after parable on me. I was like, how you do? You're like, let me give you another parable so you can understand this. Yeah. We got Billy in the back room.
Uh-oh.
Let's bring Billy up.
Man.
Mr. Platinum himself.
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I was thinking when Terrace was saying, that comfort level is the enemy of being great. Good is the enemy of being great. And one of the things that I was taught is that sometimes you just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stretch yourself, get out of that comfort zone, push yourself to a new limit, because that new limit now becomes your comfort zone. And then you push yourself again, and then again, and again, and then eventually you get there.
Yeah. That is good. Your ceiling becomes your floor.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Support and resistance. Yeah.
Exactly.
When resistance turns support.
We're gonna do some. We're gonna do a whole masterclass series on this stuff because it's real. It's real life. It's real life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
that's good.
It's 7:03 Central Standard Time.
Okay. I think I know what that means.
Yeah.
Let me do a little shifting here and
shift.
See what we do. Let's first of all throw out this disclaimer because we're getting ready to hit the go button, the gas pedal, and we're going to start going into this red zone. So before we do, read this this disclaimer that trading has substantial risk to it. And so you're going to see us do some things on this live call, and it's for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not to be taken as financial advice. All right. Seek a qualified financial advisor if you're thinking about investing. You're going to see us do some things. We're not guaranteeing the accuracy, completeness, reliability of the information. And we are not held liable for any losses that you incur. All right. You got to trade at your own risk. That if we talk about past performance, it's not indicative of future results. We may say that it's going one way, it may go a completely different way. So you're trading at your own risk. Okay. Don't blame us for your decisions. All right. Study and make sure that you understand what you are doing before you do it. All right, now today we are heading into our headline news this morning. All right, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Let's throw on a little jazz for this headline news. It's a jazzy morning, so let's throw on a little jazz this morning for headline news. And let me turn this off. Let me flip this screen on and show you what's going on in the market this morning. So this is for the week. Let me enlarge my screen so that you can see it. And there it is. Hit the plus button. All right. Yeah, you can see it a little better now. All right, so I filtered Forex Factory into orange and red folder news. Yellow folder news will move the market as well, but I want to pay attention specifically to what red folders we have this week. As I scroll through the week, what you can see is every day is red folder news, which means that it's going to be a volatile week. All of this red folder news in 1 week. Sometimes we only get 1 or 2 red folders, but we're having red folder news on USD every day of this week, which means it's going to be volatile. It's to be expected. This is the last month of the second quarter. So quarterly earning reports is going to be in focus. Economic data is going to be in focus, because folks are making decisions based off of this data. So we got to pay attention to it. It's going to set the tone of the market. Plus, this is the first week of June. What does that mean? We're going to get non-farm payroll reports. That's going to give you a momentum in the markets. All right. So a lot of these are going to be indicators of what Friday's NFP, non-farm payroll report, is going to do. Today, we get PMI. It's going to talk about manufacturing PMI. It's just when they survey manufacturers to see, how they do it, what the sentiment is in the manufacturing. And that's called PMI. That's going to move the dollar. As we're a production company, or we're a production nation, we have to produce. And so at the core of producing is manufacturers. This is going to be an important report to give strength to the dollar. All right, and then tomorrow we're going to move into employment reports. This JOLTS job opening report is an important report. Not so much on the volume that is of these openings, but the change. Is it going to go up or down? That's something to pay attention to. And then we'll move into PMI on the service side. Manufacturing is important, but services is also important. Then we'll move into the precursor of NFP, and that's unemployment claims that we'll get on Thursday, and then on Friday we'll get NFP. Unemployment rate will hit, average earnings will hit, and then NFP will hit in the morning on Friday, which will get the market spiking up and down and all sorts of crazy. All right, so there's a lot of red folder news. What does red folder news mean to us? It means that we have to be cautious and cognizant of when those occur. Today, it occurs right after the open, 15 minutes after the open. We may see price consolidate for the interim until that report is released. We'll see if it strengthens the dollar or weakens the dollar. We'll play off of that. If the dollar starts to increase or strengthens, then we know that indices and gold have a high probability of retracing. We know that if dollar begins to fall based off of this report, we know that indices and gold will be bullish. It's risk on, risk off environment. And that today is your headliner news.
Man, red folders everywhere.
everywhere. Landmines.
Especially NFP week. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. NFP is going to do it.
Yeah, you gotta trade carefully. Real carefully. We're not blowing accounts this week at all. Like we're gonna ride the waves.
Yeah, we got to do it that way.
I always remember Tim saying, "Is everyone's account still intact?"
Oh yeah, that was like go to the sidelines, and then there's always somebody that doesn't go to the sideline. Okay, is your account still intact?
Is your account still intact?
Yeah, because of the coaching, we do coaching, so we get those coaching calls, and we got to talk about like, what happened? It's like NFP. I got in. I thought I could. Nah, I can't do that. So it's lesson learned.
I'm thinking about some of my early days of trading with NFP. I can't do that but laugh. It was bad, real bad.
Oh yeah. It was.
Tim talked me off the ledge a few times in the one-on-ones. I'm like, I'm not seeing it, Tim. Like, what is happening?
Oh man, those were fun. It's good to look back at those those times. It was like the amount of progress is amazing that individuals have made, since that time. But, early on, it's like, listen, I went in, right at NFP, and it spiked me out instantly. Yeah. Like, what happened? I was like, well, you went in. That's the first thing that happened.
That's what happened.
That was the first problem.
Yeah. You were involved with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think in the beginning, as a new trader, like all the dots was just like everything's not connecting, right? So you get the basic information, right? You say, okay, well, if NFP does this and the dollar does this, then the indices should do this, and then you take that basic information and then you just go for it because you're like, okay, well, indices are supposed to drop, so I'm gonna sell, right? And then you go in for the sell, and then and you're like, what just happened? But you still have to let structure play out. There's still, like you have to give the market time.
Yeah.
Those sugar spikes.
Yeah. In our Discord, we still do this, but we don't do it as much now. But before, we used to be heavy on calling signals. And so I like that we do live calls. So it really, you don't really have to call signals because you're doing it live. But before, we just used to put up the charts and say, this is a probability. And the kind of calls that I would get, like, Tim, you said that it was going, that was basically all the confluences. Tim, you said that it was going to do this, and it didn't do it. Like,
why does that sound? That sounds like Lakeisha for some reason. Tim, you said.
Oh, yeah, but it was like, no, Tim's not a confluence. Like, I have no power in the market. The amount of stress of just calling signals, and you have to wait for it to cut. There's so much stuff that we do on the lives. Like, we can have a signal, but we have to wait for price to do something. And we have to test it and different things. And you can't really talk, if you put a stagnant chart up, you can't really talk through it of all the stuff that you're looking for. Yeah. So you can put that up, you're like, well, I wouldn't take it because of this, and that. Like, you don't have that opportunity if you're just posting the signal.
Mm-hmm.
But then we are at a, just looking at this DXY, this dollar strength. And I think this is why I'm waiting on PMI, is because we are in this consolidated pattern. This level of support is holding. It's a major level that has been producing highs for DXY. And so we've been talking about this for a while. We've tapped it a number of times and we never broke through it. And then this top level hasn't been broken through. And so we've always been talking about 104, 105. We haven't broken through either one of those. And so that's why I think it's going to be important to be a little patient. We'll catch some things on the smaller time frames. That price is still moving, but to be critical of this area as it ranges right here. We need a breakthrough to the bottom or to the top. Now, if it does consolidate, gold buys do still look good if it still consolidates, because gold will still push up. But to get a real true sense of the market, I really want to see DXY move past this range first. So I just wanted to point that out before we jump into the analysis.
Oh, that's good.
Well, yeah. So what are you looking at? What are we looking at? Do you know what we missed? And I was like, well, something's off right now. And you know what we missed? I'm gonna show you what
Mind matters.
Well, we missed Mind Matters too.
Yeah.
But we also missed this.
Oh, yeah. No, I should have called that out.
We missed the head bob. That's what gets this section going. It is red zone time. Now I can't find the button to turn the music off. All right. Yeah, let's go. It's red zone time. All right, we're in the red zone. I missed it. I was like, I just feel like being chill this morning. I was like, oh, I didn't play the rock music.
I'm surprised Paris didn't catch that one. That's his favorite part.
That is on me, but you lulled me to sleep, Tim, with the jazz.
That's what I was like something's off right now. You know, the energy is down. I was like, oh, we didn't play the rock music. Oh man, that's funny. What's going on, chat? What are you looking at out there? What's everybody looking at? And we know Mia's in and out of her trade. She done took 2 trades, made a few thousand, and she's getting off for the day. So we got to queue her up early.
Yeah.
Looking at NAS right now, because it had a level of support that it broke, used it as resistance, and now we kind of started climbing above that. I mean, we're still in that zone. So I'm just kind of looking, you know, are we hitting a level where it's going to drop again, or is it going to come up a little higher and then use this level as support again to keep going higher?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at as well. Because it looks bullish. That level of support held down here, and I threw up the fib just to see what it was hitting off of. It's that 50, which really the retest is a little higher, but hit right on that 50 and head up. It you know, that 23.6 gives it resistance, but that's right where we have this resistance level from the past. So 23.6 could act as support, and we could be pushing to the topper end of that. And we know it's the last month of the quarter, so this month may end up with a red candle. I know we never look at this at the monthly chart, but what if this month ends up as a green candle? So that's what's going to be our focus, or at least test the highs before retracing. But do like the buys there. I do like the buys. Were you thinking about buys here, or you were thinking about sales?
I was leaning more towards the buys, just because it is breaking this level. So I'd kind of like to see it come up a little higher to confirm that, come back down for like a retest, and looking to get long on a retest, because you got on a long right now, it'd just be a gamble, because it could retrace to a level and then go. So I'm just looking for that retest at a level and then take it for a long. That's my bias anyway at this point.
Yeah, especially with news coming after the bell, you're gonna have to experience momentum and then news.
Yeah.
But pre-market, we may be able to trade the some of this stuff like that. This is a 1-minute retracement back down to support, which looks like it's coming down to now.
Yep, that's what I was just looking at. That retracement back down to support. It may not get all the way back down there, but yeah, that's what I was looking at. If it does go down there to retest, I'll be looking for maybe a buy entry.
Yeah, it's getting interesting. We're going to see that here pretty soon.
Yeah.
We just look at the 5 minute. 5 minutes still looks like it's going to fall past this level.
Yeah, it could come down to that 1 minute 50. Let me see on the 5 minute. Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's going to come down more.
Yeah, got the initial reaction, but it looks like it's going to push through. Like this pattern at the top just looks like it's going to sell. Now it would be a cheap sell on the retracement back up, because you'll probably look for that candle to be broken, enter in off that, down to the 50s. So that would be sort of cheap, especially as it pushes up. To figure out if it is or not. Let me.
Right. Nedra, I know you got to run for a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna run real quick to do the drop off to school, and then I'll be back. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds
See you
good.
later, Nedra.
All right, my box is stuck here. Oh, I know why. I know why. Let's try to grab this one. I kind of did it already.
Dr. Ann had a good question, looking for the retest around 18,650. Yeah, that's about the level that I was looking at, because I have a line there where we had the previous support. Then it had that resistance on that drop on Friday, and then it rallied back up and started climbing above it. So yeah, it is about that level that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that level would be interesting if it came down. It definitely would induce buyers at that level, which would be a retest. This is really the last lower high that was broke, so you can understand why that would be retested. So it'd be great if it does do that. But I would suspect that it would leave the station because that level has been tapped already, that it would leave the station from here to the upside. Where's that hour at? Yeah, the hour is pretty high. 4 hours, somewhat divergent.
That 18,650 is right at the 1 hour VWAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're thinking that way, this probably would be a nice entry in to the downside. Probably a break and retest of this level would be the safer play. But I still, it just looks bullish to me. It looks like this retest is holding up. And so we really need to see this level broke before we start considering this.
Yeah,
right now it looks.
I think we're, that 1 hour 200 could be a target.
Yeah.
With the way the TDI is, I mean, it's still like, if you look from Friday, you're on the 1 hour, you're on the lower time frame.
I'm on the 1 hour.
Okay. So like from Sunday 6 p.m. candle to now, the TDI hasn't really moved a lot, but it's continued to go up, even though the TDI kind of looks flat from Sunday 6 p.m. candle.
Yeah.
But you've got, a nice swing up. So, and then it's not crossed that 75 yet. So I think it's going to, continue up to possibly that, to test that 200, 1 hour 200.
Yeah.
You do have a 30-minute 200 that has like tweezer tops to the left from May 3rd, from Thursday. You see that? Yep, right. Yep, right in there.
Yeah.
So that could be, and then you look at how the TDI is also there. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's a mixed bag there.
Yeah, it looks like, to me, it looks like it's coming higher. That's where all the, I mean, we gave back the entire move, climbed on top of
Yeah.
it. So that's one reason why I'm thinking about the buy here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that it's going to continue to be long for a minute.
Yeah.
And the lower time frame TDI is above the 50.
Yeah, and then the retest of support survived as well. It came down, hit that, and so we should be coming up at that point. So let's just measure this really quick. Yeah, it's hitting the first take profit now. Second take profit is right there. So this move is we're kind of watching it now, but it's pretty much on the go. I'm gonna put an alert down here just in case it comes and retests this level again. Then we can take a look at it at that point. See if that alert goes off. All right, gold, it looks like, let's see what gold is doing. I saw somebody mention gold in the chat. All right, gold is spiked off of that VWAP. We got somewhat of an inverted head and shoulder. So this is the down move. This is the left consolidation. This is the manipulation, which is the head. We come back, this is the neckline, and it's getting ready to break this neckline currently. So this is the neckline here. We rejected off that neckline, hit the VWAP, which created that right shoulder, which we could break, retest this, and head to the upside. This would be the target here. If we're thinking an upward move on gold and pulling this below the neckline and putting this as a target, which will be a retest of this past resistance level. That's here as the potential target, and probably can get, yeah. So yeah, you would need 2352 broken, or 2353 broken as the neckline of this head and shoulder. And if we break through that, potentially it could be coming up. All right, so we're gonna see if we get some retests of this VWAP here.
We had a good question asking what is VWAP.
It's the weighted. It's a little more than you treat it like a moving average, but it's anchored to the session. So the session open is the weighted average price. So it's we really look at it as from the session open, and it's not a straight equation. There's a little more factors involved in it, but the general census is it's a weighted average of what price has been since the session open, if we're anchoring it to the session. And so it shows you where fair price is or where investors like price. And usually that will act as support or it'll act as resistance. And it acts as a magnet, so it will follow price. Price is more than likely going to pull to that VWAP, which is my black line, and it's treated as support, or fall through and treat it as resistance. And you can see that here, it breaks it and uses it as support, And so we're looking right now at this old support that we broke through. Now we're treating that as resistance here. We're seeing if this level is going to break and then retest this level to the upside. If it stays below, then the possible entry could be off of VWAP. So that's why we're watching this one. I kind of like this setup where it's at because it gives us a downward position, but this is a buy all day to me. But we would like it down here, really around VWAP, if this area rejects, because it may come grab liquidity as their stop loss below here. So this would be a great place to grab liquidity. So if it comes down here, that would be a better entry. Which I think it'd be kind of expensive to grab it here, especially with no volume in the market. So I'm out of this gold. I'm not going to do this gold one.
And there was a question too about which indicator. If you just look up volume weighted average price, that's the one that I've got, and it just will show as VWAP.
Yeah, this one here. Start of that one, that's the one we use. Session anchored VWAP. Yeah, and just anchor it to the session. On inputs, it says anchor period. Make sure that says session. All right, watching this one, see if it breaks through. See if we're going to break through here, or if we're going to reject. And everything looks like it's going to reject. I think we're going to get a better price. And so where will we find price? There's a few levels down here. I think this will be a nice level here, and then VWAP would be the second level. But it does look very bullish. Did someone enter into gold? Did we see that in the chat? Did anybody see that in the chat? If anybody entered into this one?
Yeah, I didn't see that. I saw a question asking if Mia got in, but no, I don't think anyone got in.
Yeah, that 5-minute shark fin and its divergent would have been a nice move off of VWAP. I wasn't paying attention to it. That would have been a nice buy up to at least the neckline.
Yeah, we got a little sell off on NAS.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dow too as well. Dow had a big drop just a minute ago.
So that's take profit there. That's a nice retest. That's a nice retest that held. And now we're getting that sell off. We'll see where it goes to. And really, so whenever that TP is hit, I am looking at, let me see make sure nothing's going on here. Yeah, kind of interesting of this sell-off right now. Whenever take profit one is hit and we go down, I sort of disregard the fib at that point. Once structure is broken, kind of disregard the fib. So I'm gonna get rid of that. But this is interesting piece that's here. There's a lot of orders that introduce sellers, and it's like, what is attractive for sellers at that level?
Yeah, I don't know.
Made 350 on gold. Good job, Michelle.
Nice. Yeah, something like that doesn't make sense to me. That outside of just exhaustion. So when it drops like that, it's going to introduce buyers right away.
Yeah, and I mean, to have nothing really per se going on yet, that was kind of a interesting move.
Yeah. So let's see if we're going to believe it here.
It'd just be getting people excited before theirs too.
Yeah, I think it's something to watch. So, definitely something to watch here. Let me go to trying to find where I want to put a fib at on this, because it's due for a retracement, but this is not the retracement.
Yeah, I you know, and I still think that even with this, it's gonna come back up to retest that high. Because on the lower time frames, it had 9 failed attempts to pass that, like at might want to say 18,699. Had like 9 failed attempts there. So maybe it's just wiping some people out to come back up. There is a lower level trend line there. Let me see what it rejected off of. So I'm gonna watch for a while.
Yeah.
Until I get a clear signal.
Kind of with you on that. I scalped like 400 out of platinum so far this morning.
Oh, that's so good.
Like, you know, I'm pretty close to, you know, actually I'm kind of happy with that. Like, even if I don't make another trade today, it's $400. Like, you know, that's double what I used to, you know, that I would make in a day, you know, and stuff. So, you know, I'm even good with that. Ironically enough, I actually lost first because the level that I had didn't hold, and it moved against me, took me out. I waited for another entry, got my loss back plus $400. So,
well, excellent.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm pretty happy about that.
That's a good way to start a Monday.
That is an excellent way to start a Monday.
Yeah, I'm gonna risk 600 on this, on a potential buy up, to see if that holds. It's that sell off, a little hard headed on the sell off. We haven't, you know, just a sell off like that without a retest at all. If I was thinking about buys off of this retest, this is a really cheap buy down here off of a retest. So kind of want to see what this does here.
I think even if you held, you know, caught that back up to that trend line that you have, it's kind of a support resistance trend line, because it may reject there, but if it climbs on top of that, then I think it's going to keep going for sure.
Yeah, I got the stop at break even right now, and yeah, if we retrace all the way, we could be pushing to create the top. Let me measure this as one move, because it just seems like manipulation to me, but we'll see. Yeah, it hit 61.8, So of course we're going to get the rejection off or resistance at 23.6, but we could very well climb on top of that and come up to this level. So we're getting that rejection right now.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting that rejection. So this may be a sell. We're getting that rejection. Stop loss should be at break even. But we'll see if this holds as it retests this accumulation right here. Nope. Took me out of half the position at break even. Yep. And it may run from here though. It's retesting the accumulation right now. What's interesting is it rejected off of the retest. So that's the first indication, but I still like this buy. So this is the level that's being retested right now.
Denise, I know we got you only for a couple more minutes. What are you seeing?
I'm going to wait a little bit because I haven't looked at Dow that much. But I'm gonna see what I can do with maybe gold today. Might look at that. But I'm going to go for a lower target today because I got a lot of meetings. So if I do 500, I'll be happy today because I've got meetings like all over the place. So I'm just going to try to wait it out. But if I do 500, I will do 500 today. I'm going to put it like that. I will do 500 today. That's my target for today because I just got a lot going on.
I like it.
Yeah, so I am headed out to start my other side of the day. You guys trade safe, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right, see you. Have a good one.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
You re-entered him?
Yeah, I'm it's entered in kind of cheap on these micros. It's a couple contracts. I'm risking just under about $800 on this trade.
Okay.
It's getting rejected off of the retest right now. But I'm gonna give it room to play. I'm moved my stop loss just below this last high. Actually, I should just move it a little bit. Don't have to move it that much, but I like the structure here. It tapped 61.8, so we know 23.6 is going to be a rejection area, and so I want to see if the structure is going to hold. Right now, that retest kind of tells me that there are sellers in the market. So very risky trade right here at the retest. Really looking for that to hold, and that's why the stop loss is extended. But not risking a whole lot, just a small entry. Don't have 100 micros on this one, but like the way that price is moving right now. And this is the retest area that I'm looking for. If this is going to hold on this one, we're about
It is reacting off of a sell fair value gap though. It needs to take that out on the 1 minute.
Yeah. It's definitely like this can come down all the way down to retest this range right here if this low is not held.
Yeah.
So just watching that one. But it's holding so far. I'm not adding into this position, but I will add in if this level is broke. If it pushes up higher and breaks this level and proves that it wants to push higher, then I'll start adding into it on the way up.
Okay.
But coming down, this is all I'm willing to risk.
Where are we with VWAP? Are we?
VWAP's down here. We've been testing that.
Okay, we're on top of it.
Well, no, yeah, we're on top of it right now.
Okay.
All right, we're starting to break that retest, so we're coming down lower, and we're going to test this last low here. Pull out.
Yeah, there's like a buy fair value gap around 18,679. Wait, is that the right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is not looking the best right now. We need to have 18,6. Let's call it 18,694 broke, and climb on top of that. So we'll see if this retest holds. I like the structure here, but we'll see. All right, what else you got? What else are you looking at?
I haven't spent much time this morning with US 30. Did you guys talk about US 30 already?
No. I just started looking at it.
Okay. So yeah, so I was looking at it a little. If you look at the daily time frame, it came down for like a week straight, and then finally on Friday we had that big push up.
Good rally Friday afternoon.
Yeah, on Friday we had that big push, but overall we're still in a downtrend on that. And then when you drop down to the 4-hour, we're still technically in a downtrend. So, in order for me to take longs, I would like to see it break structure.
Yeah, because I kind of see that at a like we've had support resistance off this level. We have the 4-hour 200. And it had resistance off of that, and that 50, that 4-hour 50 is coming down, and it's crossing that 200 right now. And so, yeah, I think that pullback was probably just to get it, just a retracement for that pushback down.
Continue down.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the 3-hour chart, it had a perfect touch. It was resistance off that 3-hour 800 before it started pushing.
You could also draw a nice trend line there. So on top.
Do you have it up on? Do you have it up on your screen? You can share your screen.
Yeah, I can share my screen. My screen is a little. I look a little messy over here, but
hey, as long as you know what it means, we're good.
Right.
But let me do it. Hold on.
You clean the house when company comes over. That's
I know. I did not clean my house.
You know this is a judgment-free zone, so it's all good.
There's a lot going on.
There it is.
I think you should be able to see now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me get rid of the TDI and all that stuff. All right. So these are the levels that I have marked here. So yeah, we have this big drop here for like a week straight. Then Friday, I was expecting it to like come down to this level right here, but it didn't. And then we had that push up. This long green candle right here was that push up on Friday. So then when you drop down to the 4 hour, you can still see this downtrend here. So this area up here, like right over here, is an area that I would be looking for to break in order to look for longs, and that also would break the trend line if it broke that area. But for right now, it's an area where I am not completely comfortable with, because I feel like I would want it to either push up and react off of this trend line to push back down, or break this area and retest to push up. So something like this I would look for, or something like this. One, two. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, price is just hanging out right now.
Yeah, and
hanging out right now.
Yeah, right now it's not much movement, and you know, after this big rally on Friday, and with this being NFP week, it does make me wonder, like, are we going to consolidate? And if we do consolidate, that's fine, because on the lower time frames, like the 1 minute shark fin strategy, you can really get some really good moves within consolidation with that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of watching out to see what price is actually going to do. I'm hoping, you know, with news at was 9:45, we have news, and then again at 10, we'll be able to see some movement, but can't tell. And then right now, this blue dotted line that I have here, it's a daily buy fair value gap, so it may react off of that. And then we have some selling pressure above it, so it might also consolidate in between these two fair value gaps.
What's your price on fair value gap right now? What price is that sitting at?
Oh, that price is 38768. So if I put the fair value gap, let me see. If I put that on, and then we go back to the daily. Oh, actually, it's a little lower. So let me move that down. It's right there. So the buy is here. This is the buy fair value gap, and then the sell fair value gap is right there. So we might see it consolidate in between these two levels if it decides to consolidate.
I hope it does.
Well,
Paris loves those ranges.
Yeah, because if it does, those 1 minute shark fins play out really well.
Yeah. That's exactly why. Mm-hmm. How many ticks is that in between those two?
Oh, like this area in between here?
Yeah.
Let's see. Like
so Terrence, you like that? You like that those 1 minute on that range?
Oh yeah, I love
it.
That. Absolutely.
What do you like about it?
It's for me, it's predictable. it's very predictable. Especially if like you have the fair value gaps there. More than likely, if you go to the lower time ranges, you're gonna have some support and resistance there as well at the top or the bottom of the range. So you'll end up having 2, 3, sometimes 4 levels of confluence to actually take a buy or sell on that. And so I think for me, it's nice and easy. I know what it's going to do. Sometimes, you know, you got to watch out for those breakouts. And so I will not necessarily get the best entry at times because I'm a little patient. I want to wait to make sure that's what it's actually doing, and it's not gonna fool me at all. But yeah, those ranges, I'm only looking for 25 ticks. So those ranges, I can trade that all day.
All right. So what's your bottom of range, right? What price is your bottom of range?
Like this buy fair value gap is sitting at $38737, and then the sell fair value gap, the daily one. There's actually two of them. There's a 1 hour, and then there's a daily like above it. So if you go with the 1 hour, which comes beforehand, let me make sure because I marked this up last night. So let me look at the 1 hour one more time just to make sure. Oh no! So, yeah, no. So I would go with the daily then. Okay, because there's way more over there. So let me get rid of this one. All right, so the daily is at 38921.
921.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so we're on the lower half of that range right now.
Yeah. So it might do something like that. Yeah.
Now,
the one thing that really changed the way I trade is understanding that, you know, trading is a game of probabilities. So, you know, sometimes you have to have more than one bias, and then, you know, like if price does this, then this is what you should do, and if it does this, then this is what you should do. So I think that what I'm looking for is for news to hit and to see whether or not we react off of these like support and resistance levels, and if we're going to consolidate or if we're going to go in either direction, which is breaking the trend line or reacting off of the trend line. Yeah. So those are the three things that can happen today. But I'm sorry, Billy. I'm with Taris. I would much prefer it for price to consolidate today.
No, and you're good, Nedra. I was just going to say that trading will definitely teach you the art of the pivot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So your ranges, your top of range, bottom of range is a huge gap between those 737 and 920, 921. We're at the bottom of that. So possibly looking for buys once it gets around that 737 range, the buyers will start to come in. And the TDI aligns with that theory that we could be coming down to that. There's a couple areas at 760 that we could potentially see support. There's a small trend line going there on the current consolidation at 760. Yeah. So we could find support
this
at 760.
This trend line right here. You mean this one?
What time frame are you on?
This is 15 minute.
Yeah. So if you look at the bottoms, yep, that'll take you to 760.
Did I draw that correctly? That?
Yep, that looks right.
Okay.
Right. So we may find support there, but if it falls through, then we'll look at 740, 737, that area for potential buys. But there's this piece of, like, if you go to your 5 minute and looking at that 5 minute range.
Yeah.
Range high, range low is we're right in the middle of it, of range high, range low. Yeah.
You talking about this?
Yeah, so I would pull it up to those candle bodies where the majority of them close.
So that bottom.
So that the top is right, but the bottom.
Oh, the top is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move the bottom up to where the majority of those have closed. Like,
yeah, right around there.
Around there. Yep.
All right, so we're right in the middle of that range. And so, Terrence, is this what you're scalping, the top to the bottom and then bottom to the top?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing it more so on, like, I have it pretty much like this. I'm using the 1 minute a lot more than the 5 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so this shark fin would have been a good shark fin to play out.
Yep.
Right here. This 1 minute shark fin.
Yep.
Right there. That would have been great. And then this one, let me see. Will we have hit 25 on this? No. This last one didn't play out yet. It still could though.
Yeah, but that one that you have marked out, that was perfect.
Yeah, this one was a really good one to top of range. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of these for a little while. Those can be very annoying. So yeah, that. Yeah, you could definitely like play this. I mean, this is not a perfect range here yet, but you know, because we only got this one touch up here. We got some touches down here. So
yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the 1 minute, how smoothly those bi shark fins are playing out.
Yeah. And then
pretty
here
consistent. Yeah.
we had some divergence here. So that would have been a nice play right there, that divergent play. Price is going down here, going up on the CDI, and then it went for this nice little buy right there. And we had a shark fin. So yeah, there's some moves. I want to see more price action though play out before I jump into anything.
Dang, Mia just made 2K.
No, she didn't. Where's Mia? You know what?
Nice job. It was Nas buy off of 30 seconds.
Got in on a Nas buy off 30 seconds. 2K. Didn't you
nice.
Say that this morning, Tim? You was like, me and I made her thousands of dollars.
I told you. See, I thought I was playing. I told you. She gonna get her a couple thousand and say I'm done.
Mia is not playing, okay? Like
I'm telling you.
Mia, we need you on these morning analysis calls, okay?
Right? I want to get in on some of that action.
Yeah. Where was she? Yeah.
Let me share. I'm gonna share my screen here just so you can see what it's doing. Mm-hmm. So that structure is holding up. So it really created the W pattern, but we were waiting for this level to be broke, which it just broke it. And I'm actually gonna move my top stop loss here to get out because I got in a bad position down here. But this level kept holding, and it played around a little bit, but that level kept holding. We didn't, and usually what it hit 61.8. And I don't know if everybody remembers the test question about where does at 61.8 where do we retest at? And we retest off the 23.6, and so it broke down. 61.8 pushed up, hit 23.6, broke down, and didn't produce a low. So that would have been a great place to enter in off of, and then should head. It's now retesting 23.6 again, but should head to the TP at this point based off of this retest. So structure is playing out on this one.
Yeah, looks good.
But no, good entry into this NAS trade. It had a good structure that was really textbook a textbook play for structure.
So was that the same trade that Mia was in?
Yeah, she said she was in on the buy on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
Off the 30-second. Look, she's on the 30-second chart.
Dr. Denise did that to us. I had to upgrade my whole entire trading view. I said, wait a minute, you looking at 30 seconds?
Same here.
I said, oh, I'm about to upgrade. I got to upgrade now.
Denise forced me to upgrade. She was like, you need the 30 seconds. You need the 30. Okay, all right. I heard you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny that we're looking at the 30-second chart, because when we started and I'm looking at the lower time frame, Tim's like, man, we're trading on those higher time frames. What are you doing down on the 5-minute chart? We're looking at 30 seconds.
Yeah. The process of pruning.
It is. Yeah, with futures you have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like there is a piece of Forex that I'll show you. Let me show you a Forex something on Forex. This one, I got this slightly in profit right below the last high, so I'm not worried about this one. We'll find it, but I took a sell. Let me log out of this. Go to my paper trading. So this is a NAS. This is a NAS short that kind of what we would have did on the higher time frames, and if we were trading Forex, where you could hold the sale off of this double top up here. So I did it off a paper trade. Can't do this in futures, but that's the reason why we go to the higher time frames. Is this daily divergence that's up here? I took the sell off of that one, and it's like I'm 42,000 up on the paper trading account. It hit 100,000 when it came down here. And I just let it play out. It's a paper trading account, but I let it play out. But off of daily divergence, it was $100,000 trade. So it's 42,000 right now. But that's higher time frames. That's the stuff that we can do when you can hold longer. On futures, you can't do that. On futures, you have to go down to these lower time frames because we only have the day session to trade. You know, unless you open up after the open and hold it 24 hours or 23 hours, then you can hold it a little longer.
I've actually seen those play out too, where the market opened, went back down to a level, and then played out over, overnight into the New York session. I've actually seen those play out, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and the one thing I like about our strategy too is, our strategy works across all time frames. Because on all time frames, you still have the support, resistance, the TDI, things like that to be able to look at. The higher time frames are a little bit more trustworthy with that, but the strategy still works out, whether you're on the 4-hour chart or you're on the 30-second chart. So that's what's really cool about it.
We're getting ready to hit my TP.
Oh, nice. It sure is.
Get up there. I'm gonna move my stop loss up. Just follow this up. See if this holds.
Good trade.
Yeah, that was a good structure right there. What is this? A 1 to 3. A 1 to 3. Now I'm going to move the stop loss up above this candle. Just follow it up. And if it rejects right here, it'll take me out in profit. but if it holds, it should make it up to, I mean, I like that 61.8 touch. I like the 23.6 that we broke and pushed up. So it's likely that we'll hit it, but no, it was a good trade.
Even if it takes you out where you got your stop loss now, that's still a good trade. That's still, you know, a good way to start off a Monday.
Yeah. 600. That's nice. That's nice. I did take that.
The way I started looking at that stuff too is, you know, as long as you can, you know, catch those moves, you know, make $500 to $1,000 on those moves, you multiply that by the number of accounts and it starts adding up, you know, real quick. And so it's not like you need a lot to be able to start making a lot. You just gotta, like, you know, just get those good trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing on this current challenge too, is just kind of keeping that same mindset and taking it out a bite at a time rather than trying to hit a home run like I used to. And just, you know, a few $100, $500, $1,000 a day, taking out those chunks. And so far I'm doing really well with this challenge right now. And so it's going to be past here soon. I know it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Keep inching away at it. You eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Exactly.
Which challenge are you doing, Billy?
The 250K with Apex.
Yeah, I have a 251 going too. I had to press reset a few times.
Yeah, you and me both. That's what happens when you just get too aggressive sometimes.
Just a couple of times.
Yeah. Now, do you reset it or do you just buy another one?
I've been resetting, which I'm like, am I making a donation to Apex?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because a reset is $50.
Right.
To buy a new one is $18.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been donating.
Yeah, and I had a 100K that I had reset a couple of times, just being too aggressive. And then when they had that deal on the 250, I was like, why am I going to go for another 100 when they got the 250 way cheaper? Like, there's more drawdown and everything, so you got more flexibility and more room to play with. And I was like, this just makes sense to just do this. Yeah. And I think having that little bit of extra drawdown put your mind at a little bit more ease too, knowing that you've got that flexibility. Now the target is a little bit higher, but really in grand scheme of things, it's still the same percentage of that account. But yeah, I mean, you know, nobody just jumps up Mount Everest. You know, you got to put one foot in front of the other to get there. So kind of have that same mentality that, you know, hey, even though it is a higher profit target, it's just one trade after another, making $500, and you're going to get there eventually.
Yeah, I jumped.
I tried to. Fell off a cliff.
I'm gonna pass this challenge today.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Billy, I was just telling you about that on Friday. Like, transparency with the 250, you see all that space you got, the what, 6,500 drawdown, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna pass it today.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I let Timothy and this ninja get in my head with this 27 all in. Contract. And when I tell you I blew that thing, I blew it real quick.
Man.
Don't worry, Terrence. When the cameras went off, I was going right to the reset button. I was like, yeah, because with the trailing drawdown, that's what really takes you out. You know,
it is.
I'll be in the proper trade, and I'm like, I know it's going there.
Yep.
And it will eventually hit it, but with the drawdown, that's what takes you out. And I'm like,
specifically the trailing, because if you're up, let's just say you go up like 2,000 on the challenge. I think with that trailing, it takes that as the high point.
Yeah.
And then you have 6,500 from that point.
Yes. Yes.
Not just 6,500 from.
And that's what messes you up.
Yep,
So,
it does.
yeah. So you can't, like, you know, like Billy said, you just got to take small bites, and you'll get there. But the way that the challenges are set up, it's really set up for you to take profit
And
like
get out.
where you're supposed to and get out. It's not
Yep.
really meant for you to hold on to those trades like, you know, all day long.
Which is why my mindset has shifted to getting in and out. Like I struggle with holding trades for a while. Like,
Yeah.
if it's over 15 minutes, I get a little antsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with my trading plan, I'm more comfortable to get in and out. I feel like the longer you're in the market, yes, you can have some bigger trades, but there's more risk involved for me. And so that's why, like, I'm looking at what Naz right now. There was a 1 minute shark fin that played out. I didn't get in it, but it would have been a good trade. It would not have been 25 ticks, but it still would have been, I think, at least 17, 18. That's
talking
a
about
trade.
the sell down?
The sell down. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The sell down was like 17 ticks, down to the 1 minute 50.
And that was really structure right there too. So if you're paying attention to structure, that's a perfect spot to get out.
Exactly. And that's a good trade to me. Like, I know I want to do 25 ticks on a trade, but 17 is okay.
Yeah.
Like, and take your profit and be out. So.
Yeah, I definitely had to switch up my mindset because I was like in a good groove where I was using my fib and catching like some really good pips doing Forex.
Yeah.
And so I had to shift everything coming into futures. But
listen, Dr.
Lakeisha made 2,000.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Corey has a question about.
She said she took that sell.
Ticks.
She took the sell off of that 1 minute sell down.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that you're seeing it. You're seeing the chart.
Yeah.
Is that the one Taris was just talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wait, let me open up the chat because this is.
Those are good trades. So, Corey, you asked on how we're measuring ticks and why we're measuring ticks. I personally use there's like a ruler on that left hand side. If you use that ruler, you can measure how many ticks a move will be. But also when you're looking at your trade box, you can put how many ticks that will be and kind of manipulate how many units you want to go in as far as micro units, and really set how much you'll make on a trade. Just by doing that. So that's why we count ticks. I know the Nedras of the world and the Nieces of the world, they're going in with like 100 micros, which is 10 minis. And so 25 ticks with 100 micros or 10 mini contracts, that's $1,250 per trade. So $1,250 you'll make if you get those 25 ticks. And so we're really getting scientific with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're get detailed on what we want to make and what we want to risk on the trade.
Yeah. And I have to say that with my funded accounts, I tend to be a little more conservative. So sometimes I will do 5 units on that. But I go a little harder with the challenges because, like, why not?
And you definitely once it's funded, you gotta trade it like it's your own capital, because it is at that point. You got to trade as your own capital. Now the aggressiveness on the challenge, I'm very aggressive on the challenges, but if you carry that same, if you develop that as a trading style, you won't have a funded account for long. If you want to have longevity in the funded account, you can't trade it like that. Like, you have to take more methodical type trades, let the trades play out a little bit. The risk has to be less in the funded area. Yeah, it makes no sense to trade heavy like that in the challenge, get a funded account, and then blow the funded account because you're too risky.
Yeah, I haven't blown any funded accounts, but I have blown quite a few challenges.
Yeah.
But I haven't blown a funded account.
That's good.
All right, Mia, have a good day. Have a good vacation.
Yeah, enjoy Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
This NAS retest off of that 23.6 was a great move off of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that same trade. So it came down, it's tested that level of support, and it's gonna hit your TP test.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I mean, that 61.8 usually produces this kind of action. Like, it'll resist off of 23.6, come back and hit the 50, push up, come back and retest 23.6, and then push to TP.
Oh, Corey asked, did we answer that question? He said, how are y'all measuring the ticks again?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just use that ruler over there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shooting up now, Tim.
Yeah, it's gonna hit his TP for sure. Yeah.
That was a quiz question in the Advancer Labs. If 61.8 will reject off of what level, and it's 23.6. So that was a perfect trade for that. Now, I did enter into this buy on gold based off of that same kind of logic of what it's doing. Let me go here. So kind of similar to what the NAS did, where we had the push down, we had the push up that retested this level, that created a neckline. So there's a neckline that is here for the right shoulder. Then this is manipulation, that we push down past that, grab stops, and then we headed up to the neckline, we rejected and came back down and created that right shoulder, and now we pushed on top. And we've been holding that for a while, and so it's kind of the same setup as gold, where the target is here. And so I took a small entry right above the neckline because we broke the neckline, but I pulled the stop down a little lower because it's a little more risk. So I have about $1,100 at risk on this trade, just for breathing room, but expecting it to push up to the top, possibly when volume comes in. So we're about 6 minutes away from the open, and we've been somewhat in a range on the lower time frame where we're retesting. So I'm expecting, if it does pull back, similar to what NAS did, if it does pull back, to be prepared for that pullback. But sort of treating it the same way here is that we potentially could retest the VWAP, and that could be a better entry into that. So I'm just gonna let this, I got 1,100 at risk on this one, just because I've built in enough cushion. I'm fine with that kind of risk. So we'll see what gold does. And DXY has to continue to fall too, to lend to that.
Well, I hate to do it, guys, but I gotta start getting Liam ready for school. Only a couple more days before summer break, then I'll be able to hang out with y'all a little bit longer in the morning.
Oh yeah. Well, what is he? You said 10 now?
9.
9.
Yep. Yeah, just turned 9.
All right, well, tell them hey for us. Have a good day at school.
Liam, you want to say hi to everybody before we jump off the call? Sitting here right around the corner.
What's up, buddy? Happy birthday. 9 years old. It's a belated birthday.
Yep.
Yes, happy belated birthday.
Hey, and Liam, I heard from a little birdie that you are going to be bike riding soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard.
Nice.
It's gonna be nice and easy too. Nice and easy.
Yep. Yeah, we got him a cool bike for his birthday and his favorite colors and everything. So yeah, we're gonna get on that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, right, dude? Yeah.
Hit some alleys. Hit some alleys for me. Some wheelies.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We're gonna learn it all.
That's right. Awesome. All right, man. Well, take it easy. Have a good one.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day. Safe trading. Hopefully everybody makes some money today.
Oh yeah. We're up right now.
We are. Even I am up so far today. Normally I don't trade until after I take Liam to school, but it was like, you know what? I usually miss a lot of good trades first thing in the morning. Like Terrace and I were talking about this the other day, and it's like, it seems like my sweet spot is actually end of London session, kind of our pre-market area. And then I'll try to trade after I take Liam to school, and I'm just not as good during that time period. So it was like this morning, it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this trade. And that's why, like, the first one I ended up losing on because the level didn't hold. And I kept my stop loss kind of tight because I was like, if it breaks this level, it's coming down to this one. And so I let it come down to the next one and then re-entered, made my money back, and then plus 400. And
Nice.
so yeah, it's good. So yeah, even if I don't make another trade, I'm good with the $400 for the day. That's more than I've ever made in a day anyway. So it's like, that's good money.
good profits. Good profits for you.
Yes, sir.
So, but if I see anything, I'll definitely let you guys know. Otherwise, everybody have a great day.
All right, you too, man.
Willie.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
We got 2 minutes until open.
Yeah, I'm surprised you all aren't taking this 1 minute shark fin divergence
I
off the
did.
top of the range
On
I'm
what?
in it.
on US 30
Listen, see,
right
Billy-
off of VWAP.
I'm in it.
You're in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good trade right off of VWAP.
I'm not in it, man. I see, Tim, as soon as you said that, I got flustered. I made a mistake and closed out my trading view. Like,
Oh wow.
hey,
Let me cue up this bell sound. Yeah, that was a good sell-off. Right, it touched VWAP and just pushed down.
Yeah, now it's going back up though.
Yeah, that volume's coming into the
Yeah,
market.
I took a really small position on it. Yeah, it's gonna hit my style.
What'd you say, Corey? I don't see your vapor. What are you referring to? Are you talking about VWAP on the chart? Look, at price is taking off here.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to the open. I'm gonna scale out just a little bit.
Yeah. Fine.
All right, we hit our TP on NAS. Let's take a look
Open
at
the
the.
bell. Where's our bell, Tim?
I know I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing it. We are open. Let's switch it up. Let's see. Play some of these beats by Isaiah. Beats by Z. On this, I'm in this gold trade right now. Seeing if it's going to climb, if the volume is going to push it up or down. Looks like down first. Have some good support levels there. Letting that trade run. And US 30 is taking off. It broke through resistance, came back, retested it just to make sure that all those orders are filled. And now heading to the upside, we have 38,921 as a potential target if it stays on top of 38.8. It's retesting 38.8 now. And then we have 38,737 as the low, 38,740 as the low. But right now, it seems like it wants to stay on top of 38,830. So that's a good entry point to the upside. And gold is moving. There we go. Gold wants to push up. We have an extended target up there. But we do, now that the market is open, we do have news coming up 15 minutes after the bell, which will be PMI. That's going to strengthen or weaken the dollar. So we got to pay attention to that to see if we are going to hold this trend line that we've been talking about. All right, so what is everybody in? I'm in gold currently, in gold longs. We were in NAS longs before, but we're kind of out of that trade. That trade went in our direction, so we're kind of out of this trade now, but still expecting for this one to keep pushing, which was a great 1 to 3 and going further. All right, so US 30 is getting interesting here. It rejected off of VWAP, coming down to 38,740. So what are you guys looking at? What do you think about this 740 range?
I want to see if it's going to break that.
Yeah, for potential buys. And this is where we're rejecting right now, where I have this trend where it's rejected before. We're rejecting right off of that trend line. All right, so that's interesting. This is really the range that I'm looking at. I was looking at buys on this just because that's what it's been reacting off of before. But I do like your 740 because that's the level where the individuals that enter in here have their stop losses at 740.
Yeah.
Because looking left, that's where you need to pull below. So I do like that as a potential entry if that holds. I'm just gonna check back on my gold trade. All right, right now I'm at break even. I entered in kind of high on that one. I really don't like the entry. Thinking about closing out on this one, just because I don't like the entry. We'll move the stop just below this last low, so we're not gonna risk that much on it. So here's the new trade, just so we can get out of it and not hold on it too long.
Yeah, it definitely sold off.
All right, we're looking for buys around 740 as potential. We got to see how it looks when it gets down there.
When it gets down, yeah. There's some. Yeah, it's coming all the way down to that buy fair value. Yeah, the daily one that we talked about for sure. So it's also rejecting this trend line right now, though. That trend line, that, oh yeah. I want to see if it's going to break that.
Yeah, that trend it's looking good. I'm thinking about hitting the long button here. All right, I got long on. Not. They want to take me out there. The target's up here. All right, I'm long on US 30. I'm long on gold, and taking it off the trend line with the stop down below.
Yeah, I haven't gotten my signals that I use.
Yeah, me either.
I wanted to break the band, so I might miss out.
Yeah, that's a smart way to look at it. Off of that, 38,740 is really a good area if it pushes down.
I don't want it to push down because you're in the trade, but what I'm looking for is for it to push down and then hopefully break the band or the 25 on the TDI, and then give me a signal from there and bounce off of the buy fair value gap.
What time frame are you looking at?
The 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm in between looking at the 1 minute and the 30 seconds. So okay, so it just broke the band on the 1 minute.
Yep.
So now I would be looking for confluence to go back up. Let's see if it gives it to us.
Yeah, it's gonna hang out until this
Yeah. So it's
news
like
that's coming out, because we're still kind of trading within the range still.
We're a few points away from that daily buy fair value gap. So
And we're about 7 minutes away from news.
man, I entered this cell, but I entered it a little too soon. This is the cell that I was in. All right.
Well, how did that sell end? Did you get out of it?
Yeah. Because that 930, what candle was that? The 929 candle spiked up first and then came back down. So
It looks like Brian hit his TP on gold.
Nice.
Gold long, yeah.
Nice.
Tamika's in a gold long, and she's in an EU long. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Haven't heard that in a while.
I know, it just threw me off.
That was a good long on EU.
Yeah. So
Talk about
prices,
shark fins. That was a nice entry down.
Yeah.
Talk about 1 minute shark fins.
So yeah, on US 30 prices about to tap this daily fair value gap. So I'm gonna see what it does here.
Getting an initial reaction off of it, but still looks very bearish. Now,
Yeah, it is really bearish. I'm gonna look at CNBC and see what.
got the first rejection off 740, but still looks bearish.
CNBC is.
Now, Brian, is this on your funded account? Are you on your funded account? Because we know you just passed a funded challenge. Are you trading your funded account right now? Because Brian's going to move to senior level. He's going to start getting payouts. Yeah, we got that rejection off of 740. That's holding up. The price still, bears are not bears are getting, oh, it's a challenge account. No, that's good. That's good. Five minutes until news. Bears is getting challenged, but they're in control right now on 30 and actually on gold as well. I'm gonna let this run. I gotta step away for, give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna come right back when news hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Nedra, that would have been a 25 tick trade
Which one?
on US 30, if I'm calculating this correctly. from
buy?
Yeah, the buy. Let me measure this.
Oh, like if you took it right off of the daily buy fair value gap?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it definitely would have been. As soon as it hit, I should have gotten into it as soon as it hit the daily buy fair value gap.
Me too.
I think it still has the potential to go up, but
yeah, it would have been about 38 ticks.
Yeah.
For
like
that
it literally hit that daily buy fair value gap. I'm in a buy, but I'm about to move my stop.
Yeah.
I got in it after that, but it literally hit that daily buy fair value gap and took right off from there. Did you see that?
Yep. Yeah, I saw it. It's beautiful too. Really beautiful. I didn't take it.
Yeah, I'm in it right now, but I only took 5 units. I didn't my full 10.
Okay. How far are you gonna let it run?
Where is my stop? My stop is at 38,793, but it's like because there's so many bears in the market right now. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. So pretty much the top of that that candle, like 5 minutes ago or 6 minutes ago, the top of that candle, that red candle.
Which one?
You said, you got it to 38,793. It's pretty much at
the top of that candle. Yeah. But
previous
the bears are still there.
Yep. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I probably would have only tried to run it to that 200. Just when you know bears are in the market, I don't think it's like I never think it's going to run that far. And so that would have been the first barrier that I'm looking at. I probably would have got spooked and got out.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna let it either hit or stop loss.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
It's this is in a challenge account, so
yep.
It's not my fun bid. I'll wait until I really see what's happening before I trade my fun account, and wait until after news. Let news play out.
News in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and the Dow also is like, now we're starting to look at that. It was red. CNBC.
Oh, it was red.
It was
1 minute.
Yeah.
All right, news is getting ready to hit. We got eyes on news. You know, price is going to respond before the news hits. They get the early information.
Yeah,
all right, we're going to see if 740 holds. Does look bearish, but there's still a chance. As I say that, it spikes up, and it's going in our direction. News has just hit, so big investors got the early news. We're waiting for 2 more seconds here. Does seem to be bullish. We're looking for negative news would help this out, and it was positive. No, we're not getting negative news. It's positive. Which means that these trade ideas are in jeopardy. Positive news for the dollar. Dollar should be heading up.
Even.
Yeah, it was positive. Now we do got another report coming out in 15 minutes. Here, Gold has really retraced. I think. I was risking like 1,100. I think I'm risking like 500 now.
Yeah, I stopped. I got out at break even with that one.
Oh, with gold?
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was in the buy.
What's your US 30?
Yeah, stopped me out at break even.
See, that break even thing, it depends on the day for me. I've tried to make a habit of moving that stop loss to break even, but there's some days where I'll have that stop loss at break even, and I absolutely know that it's coming back down and it's going to hit break even.
Yeah.
Just like, why wait? Let me just take this profit. I'll take the little 500 to 600, boom, take it, and then when it comes down, it's my break even, and I get a better price, I'll just re-enter. But
yeah, the sellers are here.
Yeah, especially with that positive news for the dollar, we should see the dollars begin to rally, and that's going to push 30 down. It's going to push gold down. So I got low risk. I'll let my stop loss get hit on these two trades. It's really the same idea. It's really the same trade that I'm taking on both of these. Which they're both in, should be both in jeopardy with that kind of news. I know we got another PMI report coming out right at 9.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we should get a lot of price movement this week. It should be a good week. We got a lot of red for the news. I'm looking to see if dollar is going to trend. That's going to give us a lot of good setups to do. So overall, a good day in the markets. Not too shabby. I'm just going to cycle through. Oh, this NQ trade went crazy.
Harris is quiet. He's in the cell.
I've been on the sidelines. I really, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, this is a good sell. I'm actually going to close out of this one. Get in a little higher.
Yeah. I got in on the sell. I'm not gonna lie.
See, look at it. So you got in on the sell on US 30?
I did. But it's right like near that buy fair value gap. So I think I'm going to close early with some profit.
Yeah, kind of like this range for the buy.
Yeah, I close out of that in profit. I can
225. It's retesting. Will it pass the retest? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now this does look bearish.
It still looks like it's under the VWAP. It tested like on the 1 minute, the 50, the 200. Yeah. But there's also a lot of buying pressure on the higher time frames in this area, so I don't.
With that 4-hour shark fin is coming down. This could come down quite a bit. I think I like the sales as well.
I like the sales.
It's like the sales. I don't know. It's in a weird area right now. No, wait. I made 400 off of that sell though.
Nice. I like the sales maybe down to the 4 hour 800.
I'm jumping in these sales.
That's a big drop.
That's a, yeah. That's a drop. You're in the cells, Tim?
Yeah. I switched my buy. I'm going to leave this open for the day, and trade this 4 hour shark fin.
Okay.
Oops. Oh no, that's right. All right, so I got my stop pulled up above the VWAP for the retracement. So letting this one play out, probably will consider yeah, kind of don't want it that far down. Probably down to here, like a 1 to 2 for the take profit. Yeah. So we'll let that one play out. Trading the 1 hour or the 4 hour shark fin. Oh, what was that? That was probably gold. Yeah, gold is selling off as well.
I'm gonna see if I can, if it pulls back and gives me another entry.
Yeah, it should come and retest the VWAP. You may have an entry there, but I'm gonna let this one play out.
Okay.
I'm in the cell right now.
You're in it?
Yep.
I was like, when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Exactly. I didn't go in heavy at all, because I am trading an account that I'm trying to build back up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like when I say I didn't go in heavy, it felt weird not going in heavier than this, but I went in with 2 micros.
Yeah, so that's account build, like resuscitate the account.
It is.
Yes.
Reduce the risk and make good trades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely giving it to you.
Yeah, it's giving sales. I'm interested in just moving it to break even and getting in at a better price as well. So I'm gonna move mine to break even. And we'll just let it run. Let it run down. We're on it's like you're looking for buys. The market says, I want to sell. So you let go of your bias.
Yeah.
And join the market.
Well, my original entry at open was a sell.
Yeah.
I'll see if it retraces. Gives me a better entry to continue down. But
yeah, I like this. Look at that. We're on the right side of the price movement.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
Come on, sellers.
See, Tim, now I regret not going there heavier. No.
Now where you're rebuilding.
I know. And I'm like, man, I'm up, 150. and it could have been 1,000, 300.
Could have been records. Could have been records. Oh man.
Hey, it's moving though.
It's really moving. This was a really good entry.
Listen, I had my stop loss at 38,745. Really short stop loss. Didn't go in the drawdown at all.
Nice. Yeah, that VWAP, if I was thinking about sales, that 1 minute shark fin off of the VWAP was a good entry.
Yeah.
Dr. Ann says she saw the cells, but she wasn't at the computer to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, the sales was definitely the right move for this one.
We do have more news coming out in a little bit. What, 4 minutes?
Yeah. This 1 minute's playing out. Move my stop loss a little if I can get to it. That's the lower high, so I just follow price action down. And let me take it out. Can't really get to it right now. There it is. So I'm just following the highs that are being created. Just gonna follow those down. That was a good sale. That was a good sale down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can catch some of it at some point.
Yeah, I think it's going to give you a nice divergence on the 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
3 minute. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. It's still got some room to sell down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm up 8,000 on the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts.
Oh, right, because you copy trading.
Yeah.
How is that working out? I know you had that little issue and resolved that, but
it's great. Rhythmic had issues last week where it was putting in ghost trades for us. So I would close out of a trade and then these new orders would come up. And
wow.
Yeah. So that was a little something, but Apex came and made it right. So they put it everything. They took away those ghost orders for everybody.
good.
Yeah, so no, but it's been good. That copy trade, I really like it, especially on some of these setups that we're taking. Really like that.
Yeah, isn't that something that $1,000 a day or $1,500 a day can easily turn into an $8,000 day?
Yeah, it really can.
That's like
it really can. It's like and that's it's Billy was speaking to this a little bit about being satisfied with like a $400 win. I agree with that in that copy trade environment.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, when you copy trade over multiple accounts, 400 times 8, is a good day, or 1,000 times 8 is a good day.
Yep.
So yeah, we get news right now that's happened.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, we got that spike
Yeah, this is negative. So it's kind of nil on. Yeah, so you see $1 drop below that really a pivot point, and it's headed down to 104. So you really want to be on these buys. That gold should have held. Yeah. So it's barely ticked me out, and then it's heading to take profit. NAS should be on the move, and US 30 should be doing the same here soon. So I'm going to enter into some US 30 buys here, just based off of that news. That we will probably, and I kind of want to see if we have any earning news as well. I know we're in the last, we shouldn't have any earning news right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm going to see where US 30 pushes down to. I don't think it's done yet.
No, it looks like it's going to keep pushing down. Let's see. Find
I
a
think
level.
that 4 hour shark fin is barely moving, and usually those play out to, well, this is outer space, so this may create a bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might create a lower low.
Like this is, I'm going to enter in a very light position and let this run, because this divergence at the 4 hour 50 has potential to create a bottom. So I'm going to enter in a very light position, sort of like what Terrace is doing, where I don't have to hit a home run, but I'm going to risk 1,000 on this one. I'm going to pull this down to the bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And just let this run for the day. Yeah, really, I'm kind of this 4 hour divergence. I want to see if that's going to play out. Kind of want to pull this above the 50 in case it has a pullback, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I will. I'm going to readjust it to that, to give it some breathing room, just in case it wants to create divergence on it. But this one has a lot of potential to push down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Or at least give us a nice run down. I think that's going to be something that may play out. We'll see how the TDI shakes out.
Hey guys,
all right, cool.
I got to run.
Yeah, me too. It's that 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good trading today. We're profitable on the day, and it's found good setups. People in the chat have made some good profit. So I'm excited about what that today. And no, it's good. It's good. So we can end on that note.
Yep.
See everybody in the morning.
Yep. See you guys in the morning.
All right. All right.
Well, you gonna be back in the morning, Edric?
I'm coming back in the morning.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's go.
Yes.
We're on the championship run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'll see you both back tomorrow then.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
There we go.
All right, Advancers. Have a good one.
Have a good one.